In this video, I want to show you how to use Git source control with Visual Studio Code, or VS Code. As someone with more of an infrastructure background, I ended up learning how to use Git integrated with VS Code before I learned any Git commands. Still not too proficient with Git from the command line, so I mostly just use VS Code to handle everything. So today, we're going to explore some basics of the source control process with VS Code. Let's start with the prerequisites. You're going to need to make sure that you have both VS Code and Git installed. Links to both will be in the description below. Once VS Code and Git are installed, we're ready to get started. So let's go ahead and open up a new VS Code window. To start off, you're going to want to run a couple of Git commands to configure some user information, which will be used across all repositories. First, let's go ahead and configure a username using the git config command. This is going to set how your name will appear in your Git commits. This can be done from any terminal, but I'm going to open up a new terminal inside VS Code. If you don't already have one open, just click Terminal, then New Terminal. In the terminal, I'm going to go ahead and paste the command and change it to my name. Now hit Enter. To do this, we're going to run the git config command again, specifying user.email. Okay, now that Git is configured, let's get started with some source control. I don't need this terminal anymore, so I'm going to close it. On the left-hand side of VS Code, click on the source control icon. From here, you can either open a folder containing an existing Git repository on your local machine, or you can clone a repository from a URL. For this video, I'm going to be cloning a repository. The repository I'm going to clone as an example is out of my GitHub account, which you can use as well if you want to follow along. Under Repositories, I'm going to click on the Using Terraform with Azure Cloud repository. Once in the repository, I'm going to click on the green code button. This will open up some options that are available. I'm interested in the HTTPS URL. So click the copy button to copy the repository's Git URL to the clipboard. Now, if you're cloning from a source other than GitHub, the steps might be slightly different, but you just need to look for the Git URL. For example, in an Azure DevOps repository, you would click on the clone button and then copy the URL just like we did on GitHub. Now let's go back to VS Code. To clone a new repository, we could click on the Clone Repository button here. Or alternatively, if you hit the F1 key to bring up VS Code's command palette, you could type in git clone. You'll then be prompted for the repository URL. Go ahead and paste the URL that was just copied to the clipboard, and then hit Enter. Next, we need to choose a folder where this repository will be stored on our local computer. Select the folder where you want to store your repository, and then click Select Repository Location. Then click Open. Here we're met with a prompt asking if we trust the author of these files. If the repository is from an untrusted source, you can select No, and the folder will be opened in restricted mode. Since I trust this author, I'm going to click on Yes, I trust the authors. And if I browse to the folder I selected in the previous step, you can see that Git has created a folder for the cloned repository. Okay, let's head back to VS Code, then navigate to the Source Control tab again. You should see a message box and a commit button if you clone down the repository correctly. Clicking on the ellipsis here, I'm also presented with the Git operations available in VS Code. I'm not going to go through all of these for this video, just the ones that we need to push a change. You should also notice in the lower left-hand corner, we can see that we are currently in the main branch. And if I click on that, it gives me some branch commands I can run. I'll get more into that later. Okay, now that I have this code cloned down, let's go ahead and see what happens when we make a change to one of the files. Go to the Explorer tab on the left, and I'm just going to open up the README file for this example. Then I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom of the file. I'm going to add another line under lab 1. I'm just going to call it TBD2. And then save the file. Now you'll notice that there is a blue 1 on the source control icon on the left-hand side. When I click on that, it lists the current files that have been changed, which is the README file. Clicking on that, it gives me a nice side-by-side view with my original on the left and my changes on the right. So now that I'm done making my changes, I need to commit them to the current branch. Enter in a commit message that describes your changes, and then click Commit. I've now committed the changes to the branch, but I'm not done yet. If I go back to GitHub and open the README file, I don't see TBD2 yet at the bottom. That's because we only committed the change locally. Now we need to push that change back out to GitHub. Back in VS Code, there's a button that says Sync Changes. Clicking this button will push the changes I just made back out to my main branch in GitHub. Alternatively, you could click the ellipsis and then click Push. This will push the local changes only and won't pull any changes. But let's go ahead and click on Sync Change. Now when I refresh the README file on GitHub, I should see my new changes. Now, if you're collaborating with multiple people in the same repository, you may need to periodically update your local repository to reflect changes that have been made since this repository was cloned or synced locally. In my GitHub repository, I'm going to go ahead and make a change to the README file from GitHub. From the GitHub repository, I'm going to click the Edit button to make a change to the README file. Then I'm going to remove the TBD2 that I had added. Next, I'll commit the change back into the main branch. I can confirm that the change was successful by scrolling down to the bottom of the README. Now, back in VS Code, when I open the README file, you'll notice that the TBD2 change is still there. That's because I'm still in the main branch on my local machine. In order to see any changes made to the main branch since my last sync, I'll need to kick off a pull or sync in order to make sure that I'm looking at the most recent code. So back in the Source Control tab, I can either click the ellipsis at the top and initiate a pull, or I can click on the Sync Changes button. Now the TBD2 change has been removed from my local main branch. Okay. So committing changes directly to the main branch may not always be desirable, since you may need to have the code reviewed first, or maybe you need to run some code validation before merging back into main. As I mentioned before, I can see which branch I'm currently in by looking in the lower left-hand corner of VS Code. But now I don't want to push my changes directly to main. To create a new branch, I can use the ellipsis, then go to Branch, and then Create Branch. Or, if you click on the branch name in the lower left, VS Code will pull up some options. From here, you could switch to a different branch if you have any, or you could click Create New Branch. Next, I need to specify a name for the new branch. I'm just going to call this VS Code Demo, and then hit Enter to confirm. You'll notice two things right off the bat. First, in the lower left-hand corner, I can see that I'm no longer in the main branch. I'm in the new branch that I just created. The second thing I can see here is the blue button under Source Control now says Publish Branch instead of Commit. That's because I haven't made any changes to any files yet, so there's nothing to commit yet. However, if I wanted to publish this branch out to my origin, I could click that button, and then other people working in that repository will be able to see that I'm currently working on an active branch. One of the most important parts of Source Control is collaboration. It's important that everyone working on a repository is aware of what others are working on to avoid code conflict. I'm going to go ahead and publish my branch. Great. Now let's make a change that we can commit. Back in the README file, I'm going to add TBD2 back at the end. And then save the file. Now I'll follow the same steps from earlier to commit the change. Again, these changes were committed to my local branch only, so they will need to be pushed out to GitHub eventually. First, I'll enter a commit message, and then commit the changes. Then, I'm going to sync the changes up to GitHub. Back in my GitHub repository, I can see a message that my branch has been updated, and if I click on branches, I can see both the main branch and the VS Code demo branch. From here, You can follow whatever procedures you might have for creating a pull request to merge your changes to the main branch, but that will depend on where your repository is hosted, like GitHub, Azure DevOps, etc. That's a basic rundown of using source control in VS Code, and should be a pretty similar experience no matter where you host your repository. I definitely recommend exploring the options available in VS Code if you're looking for more of a UI Git experience as opposed to using the Git command line. I hope you enjoyed the demo, and thanks for watching.